This is an Auto Sleeper Broadway EK, and there's a couple of interesting items on this one which are a little bit different to standard. The most obvious is the fact it's got the Luton front on it, and we'll see the benefit to that when we go inside. But we'll take a little walk around the outside first of all. The other thing with this one is it's on the Fiat chassis. That's because this one's an automatic, has a 160 horsepower engine and a 9-speed auto, so it should drive very nicely indeed. We'll stroll down this side first of all, do a loop around the outside, and then I'll show you the interior. Now on the outside you've got things like the LPG fill, so the tanks for the LPG are underneath, and that's giving you then power for things like your heating, your hot water and your cooking. You can also run some of that from your 240 volt power as well, of course, if you want to. And these fellas here, that one is a satellite connection, so you can actually connect to a satellite dish if you've got it on site for your TV inside the vehicle. Let's head on right round and look at the other side. These here are pre-drilled mounting points so that you can put a bike rack on there very easily. And that little chap just up there, the little black fellow, that is a reversing camera. So you can see that from inside when you're driving. If we have a wander down this side, it's got the awning on it. You can see that across the top. So that of course comes out. And then down here, this is quite interesting. So you've got a water filler here, but what you've also got, if we lift this up, that one, let's get that right up, is a 240 volt power point, and also that is your LPG outlet, and the idea of that is that you can run things like lights or your barbecue directly from the outside of the vehicle. Also here you've got a completely separate locker, so that's an outside locker for things like cables or muddy boots that you don't want to have inside the vehicle, and that one has access to a locker that goes back underneath the seat, so that can be accessed from inside or outside. Anyway, that's the vehicle from the outside. Let's have a step on board and I'll show you what the interior looks like. So we access it just here, and then there's a little button here. If we press it, we'll power out the step. There we go, and we can step straight on in. Now the EK refers to the kitchen being right at the back, as you can see as we come in. So you've got the nice 4-burner hob that's underneath there. And you've got the grill and the oven as well, of course, and the sink. These are all storage lockers up underneath in places like this. And there's an extractor fan on this one as well. Up here, this is actually the control panel. So this is giving you things like, if we hit this one here, you can see your battery voltage levels. If we go back to there, tanks, fresh water and waste, of course, they're both empty at the moment. So all of the control systems are all operated from there, and that one then is the heating system. So what else have we got? Microwave is in here. There's a fridge as well underneath and a little bar area. And then on the other side, there is the toilet. Now a rather ingenious thing about this, as you can see, it's quite spacious, quite nicely done. But what you can also do is pull this across like that. There's a Perspex panel then on the other side, you can see it just here, comes across, and that gives you a separate shower area, so not having to get everything soaking wet every time you take a shower. I think that's very clever. Let's drop that one back again. There we go. And ahead of that then is hanging locker. Also the table lives in here, so that's a freestanding table that you can take out and unfold. And there's storage underneath, like so. Now what is different on this one is the fact that normally you just get a bench seat down each side. What they've done on this one is put these two seats facing each other. And the nice thing about that, a couple of things actually. Firstly, it makes a nice social area, but also, rather unusually, this one has got seat belts back here. So that means you can travel with 4 people in the vehicle. Not always the case with motorhomes. Sometimes they only have the seat belts at the front, so you can't travel with anybody in the back. This one you can. Now if you want to change this into sleeping, what you have is frameworks that come out. You can see one just here, and what that allows you to do is pull these cushions out, and then the backrest, you can see there's one here and this one here, drop down and make that into a big bed across there. There's another one on this side, but actually if you want to, there's another of those frameworks underneath here, so you can pull that one out, pull that across and make that into a massive double bed right the way across there, or you can run it as 2 singles. Depends how you want to use the vehicle, of course. The other thing that we find underneath here, you can see it, is the storage area that you can access from outside of the vehicle. And then finally, we mentioned that Luton section. That's up here at the front, and what that allows you to do is pull this one down on a gas strut. And you can see you've got the mattresses up there. Those are a couple more infill cushions, and then this mattress comes across. This just lifts up to give you a bit of a safety area if it's needed. You've got children there, for example. But with that across, that's making that into a double bed, and that means that you've got sleeping for 4 on here very comfortably. So it's a great family motorhome. And then finally, of course, we're right at the front of the vehicle now. You've got seats. Both these seats swivel around. We've dropped one around so you can see how that works. And then this is where you drive it from. So as I mentioned, automatic transmission. This is a reversing camera, so that's the screen for when you are in reverse. That camera that we saw on the outside of the vehicle, that's where that displays. And then you've got all your normal controls as you would have very similar to in a car. But it's a nice sized vehicle and rather nicely finished. I think that works well. Plenty of light in here. You can see it's got skylights in the ceiling as well as the windows all the way around, and all of these have blinds in fact as well, so you can pull these up like this for privacy, or drop them down and you've got fly screens. So when these windows are open, you've got masses of ventilation, but you can keep the bugs out if you're somewhere where that's a problem. Superb. Well, I think that's about it. Let's head on back out. Well, we'll just show you this. These are these power sockets and the aerial sockets, and in fact there's a USB as well, so that you can have a TV mounted on there. They don't actually fit the TV mountings until the customer buys the vehicle, so you can choose where it goes, but that would be a typical place where it can be seen from the seating over on this side or from the seats at the front. Very good. Let's head on back out. And I will say huge thanks to Nickwell Motorhomes. They've organised this tour for me, and huge thanks as ever to you guys for watching. We'll catch you on another one of these very soon. Take care. Bye-bye.